The Jungian, daily. I've been chasing storms across the Great Plains for 7 years now, and I thought I understood the science behind everything I was witnessing. Temperature differentials, atmospheric pressure, the way supercells form and dissipate, clean, measurable phenomena. Then last spring, something shifted. I was positioned near a farmhouse outside Dodge City, watching this massive wall cloud rotate overhead. The air smelled like ozone and wet earth, and my equipment was going crazy with electromagnetic readings. Standard stuff. But as I adjusted my camera settings, this image flashed in my mind. Not a memory, more like a vivid snapshot. I saw myself standing in a hospital corridor, holding discharge papers, feeling relieved about something. Weird, but I brushed it off. Storm chasers spend long hours alone with intense weather systems. Your brain does strange things. 2 weeks later, my dad called. Chest pains, emergency room, the whole terrifying routine. I drove 6 hours to be with him, and when the cardiologist finally said it was just severe heartburn and handed me the discharge papers, I froze. The fluorescent lights, the smell of disinfectant, even the way I was standing, identical to what I'd seen during that lightning storm. Could have been coincidence, right? Except it kept happening. Before a tornado touched down near Amarillo, I saw myself arguing with my ex-husband about selling our old house. 3 days later, he texted asking if I was ready to list it. During a hailstorm in Nebraska, I had this crystal clear vision of finding a stray dog with a torn ear by a gas station. The next morning, there she was, limping around the pumps of a Sinclair station, looking exactly like I'd seen her. I started keeping a notebook, documenting these flashes alongside my weather data. The pattern was undeniable. Intense electrical activity seemed to coincide with these glimpses of future events. Not earth-shattering prophecies, just mundane life moments that somehow felt significant. The rational part of my brain kept searching for explanations. Maybe the electromagnetic fields were affecting my temporal perception somehow. Maybe I was unconsciously picking up on subtle cues, and my mind was presenting them as visions, but the skeptic in me was losing ground to something deeper. Then came the storm that changed everything. I was tracking a supercell near the Colorado border when the most intense lightning display I'd ever witnessed erupted directly overhead. The air itself seemed to vibrate, and suddenly I was seeing myself at a coffee shop in Denver, having an animated conversation with a woman I didn't recognize. She had silver hair pulled back in a messy bun and was gesturing with paint-stained fingers. This vision felt different, more charged, more urgent. I could hear fragments of our conversation about weather patterns and how they reminded her of abstract expressionist brush strokes. I woke up the next morning with an overwhelming urge to drive to Denver. I found the coffee shop from my vision on the third try, Capitol Hill, tucked between a vintage bookstore and a bike repair shop. I ordered my usual black coffee and sat by the window, feeling slightly ridiculous but unable to leave. She walked in 20 minutes later. Silver hair, paint-stained fingers, even the same distracted expression I'd seen in the lightning. We ended up talking for 3 hours. Turns out she'd been painting storm systems for decades, trying to capture their emotional essence rather than their meteorological accuracy. She'd been having dreams about someone who understood weather from the inside out. We've been collaborating ever since. My storm photography paired with her paintings. It's the most creatively fulfilling work I've ever done. I still chase storms, but now I pay attention to more than barometric pressure and wind shear. Sometimes the universe arranges meaningful encounters through channels we don't fully understand. Those lightning flash glimpses weren't random neural misfires. They were breadcrumbs leading me towards something I didn't even know I was missing. The electromagnetic readings still fascinate me, but I've learned that some patterns exist beyond what our instruments can measure. Sometimes the most important data comes through frequencies the heart recognizes before the mind does.